Hi guys. It is one of those days, so bear with me. I'm going to start with new finished items, okay? And I like using this stitch a lot during the holidays because it's fast. I can finish stuff fast, and I don't have to think about it while I'm working on it. So that's why I use my bush stitch all the time. But it's very attractive. This is another scarf, and it's done with the Red Heart shimmer yarn, and it's actually a turquoise color. A little bit, it's darker than, it's more of a green, on the green side, turquoise. And it's done with the stitch, but I used the J hook, and you see how using a different hook size give you a slightly different texture and look to the fabric. So it's another scarf, little scarf, and it's not a gift. It'll go to my finished objects pile. And what I've started doing is weaving in my ends as I go, so I don't end up with a big pile of items that I need to weave the ends in like I did from other projects during the year. Another scarf. And what I'm doing now is I'm trying to get rid of my one skein yarns. Like if I only have one skein of a particular yarn and it's enough to make a nice cowl or a scarf, then that's what I'm going to do. So, and we have another scarf. I only have two skeins of this left, and I'm going to use it as a trim for something, I think. Or I might just make a hat out of that to go with this scarf. Then I made a cowl with another, let me turn this thing off, it's driving me nuts, it just fell. With another skein. And this cowl is long enough that you can double it up as a snood. Cover your neck. It's long enough and stretchy enough that you could twist it. Just get caught on my glasses. So you could twist it, put over your head, and whatnot. So yeah. So that's another finished object. Then I did this scarf. I had one skein of this, partial skein of this gray left, and I did it doing short rows because I like that look. And then I have a ball of black that I've been using for tassels, and so I added the tassels. Look nice with the black tassels. And what I use to make my tassels is a DVD case. To me, the DVD case gives you the perfect length that you can use for your tassels if you wanted to go the long way, or if you turn it on the rectangular side, on the long side, and do it the short way, depending on how long the tassels you want. I mean, you could always trim it if you wanted to, but I prefer the longer tassels on the scarves when I put tassels on them. And then I had another cowl, and this was made holding two strands of yarn, a black strand and what was left of that charcoal gray. And I didn't like the way this cowl started off. I was following the pattern, and it starts you off like this, which is, it just didn't make sense to me. So I ended up having to end it the same way, but the pattern didn't end it the same way it started off. So I'm like, why would you want a scarf that has one edge that is a mesh type stitch, and then the other edge was the actual pattern, which was ended up being rows of double crochet. It didn't make sense to me, so I added a mesh stitch edge to mine. So it's just a simple cowl someone could put on. Should be stretchy enough to get back over the head. Double it up. Yep. And it's wide enough that you could probably pull that up over your ears too. It's not going to cover the back of your head like a snood would, But you do have this part going around your neck to keep your neck warm, and then you can bring this part over your head and over your ears. But yeah. So those are the other items that I have finished during my holiday push. Some of these will probably be going in my Etsy store because I already finished all the stuff I needed for my family members. What I'm working on right now is, like I said, I'm trying to get rid of my odd skeins, but the big project I'm working on right now is I'm making another blanket for my mother-in-law, and it's going to be in greens this time, and this is how much I've gotten done. I'm on the, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on the 4th skein, and it's for just something she could throw on the back of her couch. It's probably gonna end up being about, so it's gonna be like that wide from that point. So it's gonna be twice this width what it is right now. It's gonna be this double basically, because I have one more skein of this to put in. As you can see, this is a big cake. It's from that order that I got off eBay of all those old yarns. It was like 90 some skeins of yarn and acrylic yarns in a box, and so it's gonna have this in there, the rest of this, as well as I have two more skeins of this to finish it with. So it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be a decent size afghan for her to throw the back of her couch, or she could take it upstairs and throw it over her bed, on her feet, or whatever it is. It gets cold. It's a good insulator to put between your your sheet and your regular quilt if you're a little bit colder around the bottom. This is also using the bush stitch. Why? Because it's fast, and I won't be sitting there, and it's a nice heavier clothes, but you do get some ventilation. So, because it's not like open, but it has like enough openings in there that you won't get too hot up under it. So that's the other project that I'm working on. Now, I had this weird skein of yarn that was in that box that I was telling you guys about. And it is Caron Dazzle Air, A-I-R-E. And it looks like, I don't know what it looks like. But I'm going to make it into a hat to go ahead, and because there's only one skein of it, thank God. And I'm going to make it into a hat. It's going to be a crochet hat. I'm working on the rib. It's hard with this camera. I'm working on the rib right now. And it's going to be a crochet hat. And what's left over, I don't know what to do with. It's so ugly. Just such an ugly yarn that I'm just going to make this ugly hat with it. And hopefully it'll use most of the yarn. It doesn't say what the yardage is for this. And you have to excuse me. 4-ply is 3 ounces. The gauge is 4 stitches. Knitted gauge is 4 stitches per, 4.5 stitches per 1 inch. 5.5 rows per 1 inch. That's the knitting gauge. And the paper is torn, so I can't see what it says for the crochet gauge. But the color is avocado. And you had to wonder, it's 60% creslin and 40% nylon. Let us see what creslin is. Alright, creslin is a brand of acrylic textile fiber that is lightweight, strong, and wrinkle resistant. Okay, so that's what creslin is. Basically, it's a wrinkle resistant acrylic. But they had to make it sound fancy, y'all. They had to make it sound fancy. Alright, so that's all that's going on. Oh yeah, I have been drawing. And don't laugh at my drawing. This stuff is like fluffy and it's like making my nose itch. But I think you guys saw this one. But this is the one I did last night. And if you're on my Facebook and all that other stuff, then you saw that one. So I'm starting to draw again, playing around with stuff. And I sprayed it, and it's still coming off. I sprayed it with a matte finish, and some of it still I gotta spray it again, I guess. So that's it. That's all I've been. Oh yeah. I forgot. Check it out. I don't know if you can see it. Let me bring her over here so you guys can see her. This is a March Craft Rose. And if you follow my website, then you already saw a post on it. Just a picture. I traded my loom I got last year during my trip to Timber Falls for this spinning wheel. Because I wasn't using the loom and she wasn't using the spinning wheel. But she's a weaver and she wanted to weave. So yeah, I thought that was a pretty good trade. And it spins great. I've been spinning this orange fiber that you see here to test her out. And she's a great little wheel. She came with 5 bobbins. She came with the 5 bobbins. She came with an extra shaft for the flyer. And she came with a couple of flyer heads, different size flyer. And it's a real nice, sweet little wheel. So yeah, I'm trying to keep my desk clean over here so that I will draw more. I find that not having a bunch of my yarn paraphernalia tucked away over there, and I'm more inclined to draw because I don't have to clean off that other side of my desk. And I try to keep all my yarn and yarn stuff to this side of the desk. So yeah, and that's that. Y'all take care.